Okay, and here we are with a quick guide for how to import Simcraft profile into Ovale, whatever you want to call it, and also afterwards how to data MR with a public profile. So assuming you've got yourself downloaded Simulation Craft, here it is, it's open. Go onto the import page, log into Battle.net and get your character and hit the import button. Once you've done that, you will have the simulation options here. This is an import that I did earlier. You can set on your options here the type of fight that you want to do. So I'd suggest either selecting Hectic Ad Cleave or Helter Skelter as a fight. If you mouse over, it'll give you a breakdown of what each type of encounter has. I think Helter Skelter and Hectic Ad Cleave cover pretty much most of the encounters that you've got in Hellfire Citadel, and indeed in the recent expansion. So yeah, going for Hectic Ad Cleave here. You can set also here player skill, whether you're average, good, elite, or whatever. I'll put good for myself. And here the number of enemies. You just take the number of main enemies here. This doesn't really include ads, but if you put 2, it'll start looking at your talents as if you're on a cleave fight. So it's useful, probably more for the MR side as far as finding out what your proper stat weighting. A couple of these, one based on single target fight with one boss, and one based on 2 or 3 enemies, which will give you the different scenarios. So let's set that to 1 for now. Target level is raid boss, nothing to change here. Target race, leave it as humanoid, though you can set demon, and there are certain buffs also with some of the new trinkets for demon, but most of the things we're fighting these days are humanoid. That's about it. You can set your latency, world lag, and so on and so on. Oh yes, one other point I did neglect to mention in the scaling and plot section down here, you get to toggle on buffs. If you're in a raid setting, I'd suggest you toggle on all of those. Scaling, I put toggle all character stats, so it will track everything. You only really need relevant stats, but may as well do it on everything. Same with plot scaling. This will give you stuff that you can then output onto AMR to get yourself a proper best in bag or optimization type schedule. So once you've done that, you hit the simulate button down here, and as you'll see, it'll start simulating. It takes a little while to do, depending on how much process priority you give it. I've given it low, so it'll take a while, but you can see the progress bar, and then after that you'll have to wait for it to finish simulation. When it's done on the simulation, it'll give you a results page like this. Actually simulate. It looks like I'll have to wait because the previous ones are closed, but basically these are some I did earlier. This one's for single target, this one's for ad cleave. So just wait for the other one to come up. So let's look at results here, and there you are. The results have picked up. Okay, so it's made it makes some overrides itself based on the type of fight that you have, because we selected Hectic Ad Cleave. It's decided that I should pick Talented Blade Storm as opposed to I think it was Avatar that I had. It also decides that Dragon Roar should be replaced. Should take the place of whatever I had in Talent 3. And then Taste for Blood will replace Sudden Death because it's more than one enemy. So the rest of it is then gives you a breakdown of what your DPS ranking was and whatever. The bit that you're going to this bit isn't actually useful for Ovale. It is useful for AMR. So if we just first of all, if you want, let's do the AMR import function. If you see down here the scale factors, this is what you need in order to create a public profile and your own personalized stat weights. Click on AskMrRobot. It'll open a link in your browser. and it'll bring up a generic profile based on the stat weights that it's worked out for your gear, as opposed to stat weights based on BIS or whatever. It actually goes with what you've got, what stats you've got, so it gives you a weighted index. If you go here to edit weights, what you want to do is you want to share these weights with your actual profile. So click on share, and it'll give you something to export. Copy it, close that. Open up your own profile. There you go. Let's bring it up again. Sorry, I got a bit of a cold today. And there's my profile. So what you'll go is to optimize gems and enchants. And here you'll be able to edit weights. So click on edit weights, do import, paste in what we took out from the previous profile, import it, and save it. It'll then give you an optimized change. You see, it's suggesting here, for example, that I should change my crit gems and crit enchants to mastery gems and enchants, which is correct. The reason I had them previously on crit is because it was based on fury. This is based on arms, and I've had a few gear changes, so I've got too much crit now. So it's telling me to make these changes. So all you would then do is go to your send to add-on. You copy and paste that. Go into the game. Go into your AskMrRobot add-on. Click on your gear. Click on import. Paste in what you took from there. Import it. And it will show you here what you've got. You can activate primary select gear and show a shopping list for the things you've got to buy. In this case, just Salvec. Now, I don't have to do any of this because I've already done it before. So basically, once you've done that, it will tell you what to get. And then you can go ahead and reforge yourself. Well, not reforge, sorry, but regen, re-enchant, and equip any gear that it's told you to change because of your stat weights. So that's basically MR. The other side of it, as we discussed, is Ovale. So in order to get Ovale, what you do is you go to your just have a look to your simulate options. You take your active simulation, which is one of these tabs here, right? And you select it and you copy it. Then you go back to the game, open Ovale, and in the Ovale preferences down here, you'll see that you have a section in here called SimCraft. You click on it, go to input, you paste in what you just took from there. You press accept. Okay, what it now does, if I've done it correctly, is it will give you on the output an Ovale output string script. So having that, you select all of that, copy it, go to script, select custom script, which I've done already, select option, paste. Alright, accept. And that's done. Now you've got a custom script. So what you would do to make it show in Ovale is you just left click here, select your custom script, and down here you will see the Ovale custom script preferences. That's all there is to it, guys. Basically, it'll allow you, rather than using, Ovale comes out of the box with simulation craft area and another simulation craft. This allows you to do one for yourself based on the gear that you actually have, rather than a sim that assumes you've got T18 or Mythic with certain trinkets and so on. So hope that's of help to you. I find Ovale very useful, even though some people might think, well, you should know your rotation, but I think there's nothing wrong with having some icons that remind you of things that you can use. And as you'll see, it does show you not only next things that you can use, but also things like your legendary ring, whether to use things like sweeping strikes if you've got more than one target, and so on. So yeah, I always think Ovale is useful, just from the point of view of being able to keep track of what's coming, what to use, and what next. So I hope this helps. Thanks everybody. Over and out for today.